Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very differently produced Adrenaline for this week. My name is Kieran Wright. I am the General Manager of Full Throttle. This is, of course, Adrenaline. This is our recap show of everything that has happened on week 5 of Season 2 in XLW. Breakthrough week 5, Ignition, and Full Throttle week 22 and week 11 of Overdrive. So, as always, we have got the little ticky-tacker tape thing at the bottom of the screen, taking you through a little bit of an update of what has happened on the show that we're currently talking about, which is going to be Breakthrough. Deathlink, or Wesley Snipes, as he is now calling himself, took you through Breakthrough on Monday night. There were a few matches on the card and had to crown a new champion. Unfortunately, due to a vicious assault at the hands of the group now known as The Bigger Picture. More on them in a little bit. Mark and CD, they incapacitated the Breakthrough World Champion to a point where he was forced to vacate his Men's Pathway Championship. As you can see, in the co-main event, there was a 10-man gauntlet match to crown new champion. That was won by Shadow. But from the top, the Women's Pathway Championship opened up the show with the Princess of Brutality continuing her path of brutality through Breakthrough, defeating Melissa Collins and holding on to that Pathway Championship. Now, just a reminder, if the Princess of Brutality successfully defends that title 3 times, she has a chance at the Breakthrough Women's Champion, which is currently one Lady Justice, following her championship win at Death Before Dishonor. But it'll be a tough ask for Princess of Brutality, as she has to defend that title every week. So we will see how she gets on with that. Match number 2 was a Tag Team Championship number 1 contenders match to see who goes and takes on, I think their names are Lala. I think it's LL and Lala. I think are the current, or Ella. I think Ella. I think Ella. Ella is the name of the tag team champs. On the female side, over on Breakthrough, LL and Lala are the 2 participants there. But Kushida Valentine and Storm came out on top over Tiger and Rose Psycho Williams. So not a good day for the Dragons. Unfortunately, of course, those who don't know, Tiger and Rose Psycho Williams are the female counterparts of the Dragonborn, so you can see in the 3rd match, losing out on the chance to become number 1 contenders themselves for the Men's Tag Team Championships, and it was the Bigger Picture, Mark and CD, who came through that match, defeated the Dragonborns and the former champs, the Hammer Boys, to be named number 1 contenders. So they will go on to face the Drizzy Rascals at the pay-per-view to determine the new Breakthrough Men's Tag Team Champions. Diamond, the former Women's Champion, has another shot at that belt, and at Lady Justice, the lady who dethroned Diamond from the top of the mountain on Breakthrough. I believe that match will also be happening at the pay-per-view. But Diamond overcoming Tessa, Raven, and Olivia Mendoza to be named number 1 contender to the Breakthrough Women's Championship. And just before Wesley Snipes announced his new Men's Pathway Champion, he had a fatal 4-way to determine who that champion will face next week. And it was Pixelate. Pixelate came out on top in the fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match for the Men's Pathway Championship. So that will be a match next Monday on Breakthrough. It will be Pixelate versus the new champion, as you can see there, Shadow, the new champion in Breakthrough, claiming the vacant Men's Pathway Championship. which was vacated due to an injury to Derek Cruz. Derek Cruz was able to patch himself up enough, even, to get himself into the main event to defend his World Championship against Big Pimpin himself, Benjamin Woods. And he was able to successfully defend that championship. However, the bigger picture weren't done there. They weren't happy just winning #1 contendership for the men's tag team championships. They had to make a statement towards the champ once again, jumping both Derek Cruz and Benjamin Woods in the main event, as you can see on the little ticker at the bottom of the screen, saying that they have made a further mark on the champion. So I have to see how Derek Cruz survives and comes out the other side of that next week on Breakthrough. Some very good matches there. I will say the bigger picture looking very, very dangerous there on Breakthrough, and could potentially be looking for a move up to one of the 3 main brands in the very near future. On the note of the other 3 brands, let's go and have a quick look at what happened on Ignition, shall we? And in the first Ignition show, since the unfortunate demise of the man we all know as Mr. Linz, Deathlink has taken the running of the show with his hit squad. And they've unfortunately very much made their mark felt on Ignition. Opening match, one member of the hit squad themselves, Linders, coming out as the new men's ex-champion. He will have to defend that title every single week. So we'll see what sort of favoritism is thrown his way by his leader, Deathlink. Hopefully not too much, but history has shown us what Deathlink is willing to do to get what he wants on Ignition. I mean, he has taken the life of the previous general manager, so that gives you an idea of what Deathlink is willing to do to get what he wants. In match number 2, just before this match, Marley did come out and state that he was putting his name into the hat to be considered for an international championship match. Of course, international champion currently held by one Benny Bulldog. Benny keeping himself well away from Deathlink at the moment. That was definitely not through my decision. I'm not sure what you're on about. I don't know what you're on about. I definitely haven't told my tag team partner to stay away from Ignition, because I don't particularly want to see him suffer the same fate as some of the other people that have suffered horrible, terrible fates on Ignition. More on that in a moment. Match number 3 was a 6-man Twitch Gauntlet Championship match. Now, this was a bit of an interesting one, because the previous champion, as you can see, that Narwhal, the first ever Twitch champion, has regained that championship, now becoming a 2-time men's Twitch champion. But previous champ Blake Allen was originally a member of the Hit Squad, and then all of a sudden, within about 24 hours, was removed from the Hit Squad and replaced by one Mr. Barnes. So I'm not sure what happened there. Obviously some sort of disagreements inside the Hit Squad, and Deathlink feeling that Blake Allen was no longer required by the Hit Squad, so threw him to the side and then did everything within his power on Tuesday night to ensure that Blake Allen lost that Twitch championship, and that is exactly what he did. It was a gauntlet match, so it was 5 separate matches. It was Coco and Lewis that started things off. Coco overcame Lewis, but could not overcome the Estonian Badass. The Estonian Badass then eliminated Blake Allen before being eliminated by Narwhal. And then Hangman Hubba came down to the ring as entrant number 6. Couldn't get the job done against Narwhal, Therefore, the American walks away once again with that men's Twitch championship. So hopefully going to hold on to that a little bit longer than he did last time. His reign previously was only a week. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there on Ignition with Deathlink. But you may have seen in the breakthrough overview, the Princess of Brutality actually came with Deathlink on Tuesday night and made an appearance in a women's Twitch championship match against the current champion Vixter. Fortunately, wasn't able to come out on top in that match, but could this be a sign of things to come? That Deathlink bringing members of his breakthrough roster across to Ignition and giving them the chance to win gold on Ignition. Vixter then went back to back in matches as she then took part in the Women's X Championship match. Champion Lucia taking on Lilia, Viv and Vixter. And it was the blonde bombshell herself, Viv, who came out on top and taking that Women's X Championship away from Lucia. Not sure how Marley's going to feel about that, seeing his lady unfortunately lose that championship. And then the main event, I think the match that everyone on Ignition was very, very happy to see the result of. The Hit Squad, Scotsman and Barnes, the murderer and the replacement for Blake Allen, took on Flashbang, the two brothers Bray and Cure, and Say a Prayer was their original name. They've now shortened that to just Prayer. That is Pastor Jelly and Jelly Baby, and it was the great Pastor and his son who came out on top in that match. So they are the #1 contenders now to Across the Nations Tag Team Championships. However, that main event was supposed to be a fatal 4-way. The fourth team in that match was due to be the Lucha Scots. You may have seen along the ticker at the bottom of the screen that that never happened. Because unfortunately, on his way to the ring, Jake was attacked by Deathlink himself in his devil's guise. Attacked him mercilessly with a steel chair. And as the medical teams came to remove Jake from the building in the back of an ambulance, everyone thought that was it. We were done with it. And that Jake would be able to make his way over to the hospital and get himself fixed up and come back stronger than ever. Unfortunately, Deathlink had other ideas. Took a semi-truck from the parking lot, detached the trailer from it, and decided to, not once, not twice, but 3 times, drive that semi-truck through the ambulance carrying Jake. Now, no one knows of the condition of Jake at present. We were hoping that the new commentary team on Ignition of Clive Mandeville and Wesley Snipes were able to give us an update. They weren't able to do so, so thoughts are with Jake. Hopefully he can recover from this vicious assault at the hands of Deathlink. And we will hopefully see him again very, very soon on Tuesday nights. But the night was definitely an indication of things to come, with the Hit Squad running roughshod over Ignition. On to Thursday night. This is, of course, my show, Full Throttle. We change everything over in terms of that. We did start 2 #1 contenders tournaments on Full Throttle to crown the new #1 contenders for both the World Championship and the Ultra Violent Championship on the men's side. However, our opening match was one that had been brewing in the Discord. There had been a few conversations taking place between Harper Lee, Lilith, and Jafina Walsh. So Jafina challenged Harper to a match at the start of the show, but as you can see later on in the night, they already had a match, so I wasn't going to have them face each other twice. So I offered Jafina Walsh the chance for her tag team partner, Lilith, to have a shot at the woman who took her world championship away from her in Harper Lee. And Harper, she took a bit of a cowardly way out, winning the match by countout. And let me assure you, ladies and gents, Lilith was not happy with that. More on that as the match goes on. Well, as the night goes on, sorry. But Vanda Arnault missed out on qualifying for the semi-finals of the World Championship #1 Contenders Tournament, but wasn't all bad for the Mercenary, as in the main event he was able to overcome 5 other men inside an elimination chamber to win his first bit of gold on Full Throttle, that is the Men's Television Championship. However, Bonta, the man, the brains behind the MOB, the Ministry of Bedlam, has the choice of choosing Vanda's next opponents. So we'll have to see what happens on Thursday night and see just how much the man behind the Ministry stacks the deck against our Mercenary. It was the battle of the Tag Team Champions in the Ultra-Violent Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. Good show of respect by the two men as well prior to the match. A handshake from the two men there. It was Jeffrey Walsh that came out on top, though, against his tag team partner. I know JB will be watching and supporting his teammate through the rest of the championship, especially after JB has now unfortunately lost that television championship. Only the tag team champs now in the camp of the Thug Life boys at the moment. So JB still has one chance though to get himself some more gold. He will be involved in the World Championship #1 Contenders Tournament next week on Full Throttle. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Rizla coming out on top against Roro in the first round of the World Championship. And then Bonta defeating Duck, showing that Duck maybe needs to keep an eye on the man behind the Ministry. And Bonta definitely putting his name into the hat for a potential World Championship opportunity later down the line. He is still in the World Championship tournament. He will have his first round match next week, so we'll have to see how Bonta gets on there. And it was almost a perfect night for the Ministry. Unfortunately, those skills couldn't get the job done against Phantom. Phantom came out on top in that no-holds-barred match to qualify for the semi-finals of the World Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. And then, following the trade between Full Throttle and Overdrive, Full Throttle's newest member, Ryan, defeated the Underbaldy to qualify for the semi-finals of the Ultra-Violent Championship. Then in our co-main event, Jafina Walsh became the first two-time Full Throttle Women's Television Champion as she defeated Harper Lee. And then, as Harper was leaving the arena to go back home, unfortunately Jafina's tag team partner had other ideas, as Lilith handed out a brutal assault to Harper Lee in the parking lot area at the back of the arena, slamming Harper's head through the concrete floor on more than one occasion. Harper was taken to a nearby medical facility where it was discovered that she is going to be out of action for a number of weeks. And as a result, Harper Lee has had to vacate the Women's World Championship on Full Throttle. But that wasn't where it ended, because Lilith then, after being stopped by people backstage, announced that she was leaving Full Throttle She wanted nothing to do with Full Throttle anymore. She did what she wanted to do, which was to take out Harper Lee, and she's now going to go off on her merry way and do things her way. Not sure what she means by that, but if it's to be believed, then we won't be seeing Lilith on Full Throttle anymore. We'll have to wait and see in the coming weeks, though, to see whether or not Lilith stands by her word, or whether she will make a return to Full Throttle. But again, in that main event, it was Vander who claimed his first bit of gold in XLW with that men's television championship. And now we move on to Overdrive. And over on Overdrive, we did have the appearance of a Vidal. A wild Vidal appeared on Overdrive following his trade from Full Throttle, taking out Pat for the beatdowns that he's been given to Junior over recent weeks. Forensic claims his first ever championship in XLW, to my knowledge. If anyone does know that Forensic has won another championship, please do let us know. But I'm pretty sure that is Forensic's first ever championship in XLW. So massive, massive congratulations to him. And Will started a couple of tournaments for the King and Queen of Glory championships, calling the championships the King and Queen of the Ring. Hung Quan, or Hung Man, as Kenneth does colloquially call him, bested Richie. Pat bested Junior before getting battered by Vidal later on in the night. And then on the female side of things, Onyx and Versus both came out on top, and I believe that they are facing each other next week. So that is going to be an absolutely cracking match on Overdrive next week. And we had a non-title triple threat match, a very, very good match between Queen Bee, Sky Orchard, and Blade, where Queen Bee did come out on top. Big Barbs retains her female People's Championship. However, the Diva Killers were unable to get the job done in the main event. The Knockouts becoming two-time Overdrive Women's Tag Team Champions. I mean, I'm not surprised Tatiana had 3 matches on Overdrive and got battered in every single one of them. The only match that we haven't mentioned yet was a backstage brawl that appeared out of nowhere between Green Fury and Patrick Snape. So, yeah, interesting to find out what the fallout from that's going to be in the coming weeks. But, ladies and gents, that is all we have time for on a very, very streamlined edition of Adrenaline. Do apologise that it has been a little bit thrown together and rushed through, having to sort of do things really, really quickly due to work commitments. So apologies for that. But next week, Adrenaline will be back to normal. But until next week, ladies and gents, we will be back live on my channel. What I will do is we will chuck the stream schedule up on screen. Now, on a Monday night, it is Deathlink taking you through Breakthrough on his Twitch channel. On a Tuesday at the moment, in the interim, it is Deathlink again on a Tuesday night taking you through Ignition from 9 o'clock. Thursdays, I take you through Full Throttle on my Twitch channel. On a Friday at 9 o'clock, it is F1XL Will taking you through Overdrive. And then right back on my channel on a Saturday evening from 9 o'clock, it is Adrenaline. But until next week, ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching XLW Adrenaline. I have been Kieran Wright. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week live on Twitch. Good night.